It's some kind of color on it, but not dark. Not dark, dark. You know what I'm saying? But it's just
Better than this. I don't like that neither.
Second one.
These two right
You
here.
want to
They're
speak
my
after
favorite.
these things first according to the agenda.
they'll look good.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am. So just go first.
And it's gonna be this too. It's gonna be both.
Both of them?
Got your wish.
But anyway,
Both of them with that?
let me go past these two.
So if you put both of them colors, this color, and that color.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Downtown. You ain't got no.
Yeah. Okay. They're gonna have to share. And, do you need a set? You want?
I'm nosy, but I certainly don't have a say.
Vanilla.
What's that? Honestly, I'd have to look at the printout computer because I can't remember it.
You ain't gonna be one solid color?
If I have to
It'll be
use a
there's an accent color. I think they most of them.
already
will.
Okay, so this is the main color.
what was up, I just didn't get the print yet. I'm have to do the same thing. In its orders you just passed me, you told me I need to put a privacy screen up in order to block the fence. Let's see behind it. So why do I need to buy a permit to put up the privacy?
Did they ever approve your fence permit? Did Andrew ever approve?
Yes. And Andrew wasn't the one who approved any of my permits. It was JK did.
Permit.
Okay, that permit.
Oh, damn.
Means you got CO from the town that permits, that permit's dead, so you got to get
It was already done though. If I got two cameras already.
I was looking for
I took the pictures of it. It's in your picture.
She may have gone to get it.
Kind of occupied back there now, so maybe she'll bring it out in a minute.
Okay, but you got
I
also,
don't think she's put them up there. She's kind of preoccupied back there in the back.
you can't do that. You didn't wait that one, so you couldn't wait up in the order.
I don't need to go back there. That'll tear my nerves off.
In 2024.
You got to get permit for your renovation, Jim. That's what you got to do.
Pay me no mind.
For, yes, for the renovation in your house. That's the reason why the permit got put on hold today, is because.
Well, I'm filling in for him tonight. But, no, I'm Nick Barry.
The stuff off the, did he move all of my permits were,
No,
I
he's
had to read on because
Did you
the
move all,
county,
did you have all your stuff off your porch?
everything but my large.
I can't find the agenda thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with you on that.
So he's at the park.
I ain't seen Tony, I can't see him. Last
I
time I
mean,
seen
you've been over there 10 times, starting the
Tony,
time.
I went this morning. Do you think I went this
I'm
afternoon?
asking. Okay.
When I applied back with JK, solar generator permit to my building permit, at no time did they
How
have
does
tell
it
me
expire?
I needed a.
If once you get a permit, how does it
a
expire?
remodel permit for the city, for this town of city. And the debt. There's nothing else. Well, I got my building permit, I got my zoning permit, and I put everything there. Now,
That's why they made
the zone, now I
So
had
why
to move
didn't
the
they-
building,
why didn't they
sell
do
it
it over
all,
there, get rid of
because I
him?
got fined.
Well, what haven't you went after in 4 years?
Vote on tonight. Are we voting to
We don't
start
vote on
his
nothing
fines?
tonight. We're not starting no fines. Fines don't start till the 10th.
Till the
And
10th?
if Jimmy just can't get it shielded, get that trailer, because she's
But
going
there's
to, I'm telling
nothing,
you.
nothing's behind there. Everything on my
So
trailer,
that
and my
we can,
trailer's
it's
stopped
time to
up.
get started, so that we can start
I
our
don't
meeting.
care.
And
That's
that this
racism.
doesn't
Excuse me,
happen.
hold on. That's racism.
I can't say black and white.
It is,
So that this.
because
Okay. I understand, yeah.
I'm about to say hello today.
Yeah, she said, was it on my lunch break? Is that where I was?
Yeah, no, I need to know if you guys had a suggested attorney for family.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. But you got to keep your word. If you tell me you're going to do something,
Sure it was. Not yours.
but you
Very nice.
so to me, you're a compulsive mind.
Okay.
You got to be the man. You got to have to stand accountable for what you say.
All right.
And then
I don't have it because I can't find it in this email. Michelle, will you pass a copy of the agenda? Would you pass a copy of the agenda? Thank you.
Make sure I go second.
In this email.
All right, let's get. We just gonna go in the order that it is. We're just going in the order that it's on there. Okay. All right, we gotta get started. All right, good evening. Yes. Good evening, everybody. We're going to call this meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate your patience as we get started. First order of business, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please stand and face the flag. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You may be seated. All right, first item on the agenda is the approval of last month's meeting minutes. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please let us know. If not, we can entertain a motion to approve last month's meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the public forum. First to speak is Jimmy Harris with 206 Hopkins Avenue.
Kyle, Jimmy Harris. I'm gonna let Jeanette Butcher from Hopkins Avenue speak before me.
Now, whoever's on the, whoever's scheduled to speak has to speak.
Okay. Jimmy Harris, 206 Hopkins Avenue. I'm here today because of I'm being bullied in the town from racism since the time I bought this house. Between now, first got here, bought the house in March 2021, pulled my zoning permits for my solar panels, my building permits, my storage permit, fencing permit. Since then, I'm told that several things have not been in order. For my storage building, which Jake Kim had approved, when Andrew came in, said it wasn't approved. The town forced me to sell my building because it wasn't in quote unquote town ordinance, even though it was approved in town ordinance, and I showed everybody the permit. After that, prior to that, I've been getting harassments from letters every other week for supposedly grass being overgrown, the canal that runs from the side of my home, overgrown, and again, city problem. When I pointed out, then the letter stopped. Now the latest is the Karen across the street from me, owning a house that she bought after I've been already living there for 3 years, saying that she can't sell her home because when they walk out the door, they see my property and me. That's racism. You can't tell me that I was there for prior to you getting here. You bought the home knowing I was living here. Now, because you can't sell a house that you're not even living in, it's my fault? Wow. That's crazy. I said to Mr. Sean Lucas Code Enforcement that he wanted me to clean off my porch. I said, all right, what's the problem? Safety and health issue as far as the wood lumber that I'm working on my house with, because my house isn't being remodeled. I moved 90% of my stuff off the front porch onto my trailer, and I put a tarp over it. So it cannot be seen. It's not looking as an eyesore or as trash. But it's now being identified as a nuisance because it's on my trailer in front of my home. They were told, you also told me in the last appearance that you wanted me to put a privacy fence up to put the stuff material behind it. I did one better. I covered it up and put it somewhere where it's mobile for me to have access to it. John Lucas took it upon himself today to tell me that the county, to tell that I didn't get a zoning permit for remodeling in my home and stop all my renewal of my permits. Now, the county changed their law back in 2024 where any permits that you buy.
1 minute. 1 minute, okay.
Any permits that you purchase expires in 6 months. That wasn't till after before, those changes came after I made my initial permits. So all I'm asking for right now is justification on everything that is done between the harassment of letters on my home, the county, the city. I need this to go away. I'm here. I'm planted roots here. This lady has not. I got family here. I've been a pillar of the community, from Girl Scouts to just helping neighbors and giving out food to the elderly. I am tired of being harassed for trying to make a better home for me and my kids. And I want this to stop. I'm not willing to negotiate anymore on these petty terms to make me change when no one else is changing around me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Next on the public forum is Jeanette Butcher, Hopkins Avenue. If you please state your name and address.
Jeanette Butcher, 207 Hopkins Avenue. And I have pictures of property, how it hasn't changed. It's actually gotten worse now. It's got the golf court back in there and then an open trailer in the front yard. No privacy fence was put up. So this is my third time here. So how would you feel if you were putting your house up in the market and this is what you have to, if you bought the home, what you have to see across the street? I took my home off the market. I thought maybe there might be a privacy fence across the street and things would look better. And the zoning ordinance would be met, but it seems to me that Spring Hope is in an unrestricted area and that there are no zoning ordinances here. Nothing that I've seen has been done, so I'd like to know what's going to be done. Pretty much that's all I really have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for those members of the public that came here to speak. We appreciate your time and concern and presenting these concerns to the Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners will definitely consider all of this, and they do not have to respond to anything tonight. But I will ask the commissioners if there's any comments that they'd like to make, or if they have any questions for anyone that spoke in the public comment session, or if they would like to hear anything from anyone from code enforcement. I think code enforcement is coming up later on the agenda, but if you'd like to hear anything now, that would be okay as well.
Manager, what you think about this?
The only thing I can say is that we would, Mr. Commissioner, what I would say is I would refer back to our town ordinances, which the code enforcement officer enforces.
Commissioners, anyone else? Any questions or comments before we move on? Okay, moving on to continued items. First on continued items is the surplus property bids. Oh, yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. Let's get a very important part of the meeting completed. And I've also failed to introduce everyone. If you'll please welcome our new town manager, Jonathan Allen. It's so great to have you here. But let's get you. Yeah. Let's get you sworn in so we can make that official. Would you like for your daughter or your wife to hold the Bible for you? Always a good day when we can get the wife to hold the Bible. He's swearing on the Bible for you tonight. If you'll just stand right here and just face this way. All right. Place your your right hand on the Bible and raise your left hand. If you'll repeat after me. I,
Jonathan Allen,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina,
and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina,
and faithfully discharge the duties of the town of Spring Hope
and faithfully discharge the duties of the manager of Spring Hope
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Thank you. Congratulations. You were sworn in.
All right.
Commissioner Brumfield mentioned not to put you on the spot, but would you like to say any opening words?
Absolutely. So, first of all, thank you to the town board for allowing me to serve. I look forward, and I've already started meeting some of the community. I look forward to indulging into the community and becoming a big part of the community. And everyone's made me feel very welcome already, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll jump right into surplus property bids. Do you have those with you?
Yes, we got one bid, and it was for $3,000 from a James Wagner.
Okay, and do we have, Lieutenant Leary, do we have any type of estimated value on the Charger? Okay. So we got a bid, and what year is that?
2016.
A 2016?
Yeah.
And the issue is the motor? Okay, so it's got a blown motor. So a 2016 police Charger with a blown motor. We have one single bid for $3,000. So we can vote to accept the bid, or we can put it back on online for open bid if you guys feel that's.
That's the surplus in Raleigh, right?
That's a surplus here.
Oh, and
It's
that's
our surplus car.
That's ours.
It's our car.
Yes.
So why you didn't send it to Raleigh?
Because it's our car, we could sell it in any, you guys agreed to do a sealed bid, so we put it in the paper, and we got one bid.
Is there a location online that it could be listed?
It was in the paper for 3 weeks.
Is there typically a website that these surplus vehicles are offered online where
I mean, there
a
is
lot of people?
.gov, but we didn't use that because y'all had agreed to do the sealed bid, so we did sealed bids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to put it online to see if we can get a higher bid? online? Or does anyone want to make a motion to accept the $3,000 single bid? Does anyone have any discussion? I'd like to see it go online if the commissioners would entertain that.
Did we put an end date to the closed bid?
Yeah, it just ended, it ended last week, 27th.
Did any of the wording say that was final, or?
No, it didn't say it was final.
But you guys can, the ad is final, the ad ended.
Oh, yeah, the
but
ad's over. The ad's
but-
over.
I mean, y'all ultimately will decide if you want to take 3,000 or if you want to put it online, like surplus property typically goes.
Be done with it.
You want to be done with it?
Didn't you say it's a 2016, right?
Yes.
Bad motor, right?
Bad motor.
Keep looking good.
I make a motion to accept the bid.
Okay. All
I
right.
second.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Thank you, commissioners. All right. Next item on the agenda, new items. This is a wonderful one. The Downtown Development Board representative here to talk about their brochure and also the Main Street, the small town Main Street approach. So DDB, we're glad to have you here. For those of you that don't know, we do have a Downtown Development Board that focuses on economic development in the downtown area, including around town, since it is such a small downtown. They do work very hard. They do a lot of due diligence and research, and we're grateful to have them serve. It's a volunteer board, and we're very grateful to have them serve. Take it away.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate the time, everybody. My name is Brandy. I'm the vice chair on the Downtown Development Board. And like Kyle said, I'm here to talk about the brochure that we've been working on and the Main Street approach. Firstly, the town brochure. We have put a lot of time and effort into it over the past year or so. Steve especially has put some real effort into this. I believe it was sent to everyone. If not, he's got a copy right there he's passing around. But the purpose of the brochure is to highlight what Spring Hope has to offer, and it's also supposed to grow with the town. It's just a professional, centralized resource for the town. It promotes local businesses and events, and it also supports economic growth and development in town. We opted to go mainly for a digital format because that allows us to change it and update it as things grow and change in town. It's also easy to update. It's easy to share on the website or to social media. And the Downtown Development Board will obviously keep it updated. And let's see, we would really like your approval to host it on the town's website as well as to share it in other formats. It also ties in very nicely to the Main Street approach, which we'll talk about in just a second. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the brochure itself?
I think it's beautiful.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I wonder who did the design.
I don't know. I'll have to look at my notes.
This is fantastic. This is something that that the town has needed for a really long time. I'm so glad that y'all have taken the lead on it. This is great for new residents coming to town, visitors coming to town. If the town wanted to attract a particular business or a particular developer to town, this is such a great tool and a resource that's so needed. And so grateful that you all took the time to work on it. And two commissioners on the board, Commissioner Brumfield and Commissioner Brantley, also used to serve. They were promoted from the Downtown Development Board by you all, the voters, and so they were instrumental in this as well. And we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we have another member of the Downtown Development Board here. And just to reference, you are the owner of the Unkinked Massage Therapy right in downtown.
Yes.
And then we also have another representative, if you'll please stand. And she is the owner of the, I call it the Spring Hope Arts Council, but the Artist Art Center. April Barner. So thank you for being here and thank you for volunteering as well. So next up, carry on.
The Main Street approach, some of you are probably familiar with it, but a lot of people here may not be. Several years ago, we had representatives from the Main Street approach come in and discuss their revitalization framework that they use. And we did a lot with it then, but since then turnover has occurred and a lot of us might not know exactly what it is. So the Main Street approach has 4 main points. It's organization, design, promotion, and economic vitality. The approach is designed to work cohesively with all of these different areas to grow the town. It also focuses on a main transformation strategy, and it's been a few years since we first created one, so it's probably time to update it. There are a few different possibilities that are listed on the website for the Main Street approach, but it also tells us to take into account what the rest of the town, including the business owners, residents, all the stakeholders want to see. What do we want the town to feel like? What do we want to be known for? What's one thing that you'd like to see added or improved? And what are we already doing well? These are questions that we're going to cover at our next Business After Hours meeting, which is going to be held on this Thursday, the 9th, at Depot Delights at 6 o'clock. It's open to all business owners in town, entrepreneurs. If you work for a small company, please join us, and we're going to discuss what we would all like to see for the town going forward. This helps us to focus our efforts on all of the different events and promotional strategies, everything that we're working on. It's going to pull it together, tie it all into one main goal.
So this sort of refocus the DDB.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that date, you said Thursday, the 9th, at what time?
6 o'clock
Okay, 6 p.m. And where's that at?
at Depot Delights.
At Depot Delights. And Michelle, since this is a downtown development board, a town-appointed board, can we please send out a phone tree to invite business owners to?
Send it to the whole town?
I think it's hard to get the phone tree. Are we able to get it to do just the business owners?
Probably, if we work on it like a day or two.
But if not, to encourage commerce. If not, then let's just at least send it out. If we can't send it just to business owners, send it out to everyone and just say it's a notification for business owners' invitation to the Downtown Development Board sponsored event.
May I comment?
Please.
I would personally not see a problem at all with sending it out to the whole town, as this is a meeting for up-and-coming business owners too. So whoever's interested in becoming a business owner in town, and that we wouldn't have a registry for that.
Okay. So can we do that? Sure. Okay, perfect. And can you please make sure Michelle has all of the details? I know we just stated them verbally, but if you'll please just email Michelle those details. Absolutely. So that we can, and a potential message, if you have a 1 or 2 sentence message that you'd like to go out.
Yeah, like one, because like 2 sentences, people hang.
2 sentences? Okay,
Perfect. Absolutely.
beautiful.
All right. Thank you
any-
guys for your time.
What are we
Any
supposed to do
questions
with
from the
this?
commissioners on the Main Street approach or the brochure for Brandy? No? Okay.
To entertain a motion for the
We,
brochure.
we do need to entertain a motion to get that approved. It's been a long time coming.
Go for it.
So if everybody's had time to review that, if we can get a motion to approve the brochure,
I make a motion that we approve the brochure.
do we have all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carry, any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, commissioners, for voting on that.
Yeah.
Next item on the agenda, Michelle, we spoke about this. I believe this may be an older agenda.
Yeah, I think it is.
Commissioner Brantley just mentioned it. The Downtown Development Board applications, while we're on the Downtown Development Board, we do have vacant seats on the Development Board, and so we do need to appoint members so that they can keep the momentum going. Do you have those applications for us?
Everybody in the email.
Okay. All right.
To be, there should be 9 total members, correct? So they're short 3 right now, right?
from my understanding. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we have three
We
applicants.
have 3 applicants and 3 openings.
So do y'all want to just make a motion to approve all 3 since there's 3 seats? I know they were up there last time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve all 3 seats,
You have a question?
all 3 applicants.
Second from Commissioner Tony. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Do we need to mention those names?
Yeah, let's mention the names for,
Max Cohen, Christopher Jones, and
Ellie Browder.
Ellie Browder.
okay. And thank you all for the 3 new members for serving. Again, we appreciate your interest in the town, and we appreciate your efforts to help push the town forward economically. Okay, rezoning public hearing for property off of First and 3rd Street. And Sean Lucas, doing our zoning, if you'll please come forward and just give us the information on that, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, Mayor, and good evening, Mayor Commissioners. As you know, we have the property that was brought before the commissioners a while back. Now it's here subject again for rezone to go back to the zone that it was officially was before the previous board rezoned it. It's a 12.88 acre vacant parcel of land off First Street. The town board of commissioners most recently rezoned this property to residential multi-family. And now the developer is asking that the land be reverted back to the original zone that was designated before it was rezoned, which is R8. If you look in your agenda packet, you can see that this was reviewed by the planning board of the town of Spring Hope on March 26, 2026. The planning board did request a final disfavorable and vote in favor with a vote of 3-1. If you look in your packet on page 1, you have the rezone application that was submitted by Stocks Engineer, Mr. Kevin Varnell, on behalf of Morgan's Property LLC. In page 3 of your packet, you have a picture right here depicting the zoning, the 12.8 acres. Your vicinity map right here showing it. And I believe if you look in your packet, your page number 4 should be the statement of consistency by the planning board. We'll come back to that in a few. Also, we have the certification of notice to property owners in your packet on page number 5, stating that this property was sent out to everybody that was included on the zoning notification list within 10 days prior to the public hearing. Also, we gave you a map right here from Nash County GIS showing everybody that's highlighted. It's hard to see it, but everybody that's highlighted, you see received a letter from the town of the public hearing tonight to come out. If we turn over to your agenda report, that is this page right here, the first page of your agenda report for this rezoning. As we stated, the subject property is 12.88 acres of vacant land off First Street with a parcel ID of 008558. It's in the town of Spring Hope zoning jurisdiction. They're asking to be rezoned from residential multi-family to residential H, which is high density. The vacant lot property is located off First Street, has a parcel 008558. Property is located within the town of Spring Hope limits, and the Morgan properties will be represented this evening by Mr. Kevin Varnell with Stocks Engineering. If you look north of this property, staying on the north facing towards First Street, it is R8 zoning residential. If you look south of this property, facing south, it's vacant land facing 3rd Street to South Walnut. You got R15, light industrial and residential ag. If you look east of the property, that is R8, residential, that will be towards the Wilder Drive subdivision. And if you look west of the property, that is R8, residential apartments. According to the town of Spring Hope zoning ordinance, the definition for multifamily residential district is the purpose of this district is to provide new areas for multifamily residential development. And the definition for what the applicant is asking for R8 is high density R8. The proposal of this district to provide for older in-town neighborhoods which have developed at this district and to provide for other medium and high-density residential areas. If you look at your town of Spring Hope comp plan on your website, they already have this slated in the future land use as MR, medium-density residential. According to your comp plan, the purpose of this class is to encourage medium-density residential development and other complementary usage. Potential range of this use may be appropriate in these areas, including single-family dwellings, duplex, and other compatible uses. The residential density should be in the range of 3 DUAC to 5 DUAC. Development in this area will have access to adequate public water and sewer services. Page number 2 in your agenda report shows a Google Earth photo of the property. And it also tells everything about the property, 12.8 acres and vacant land. If you go to page number 4, your project history, we'll go through the entire history of this project. This application was submitted by Mr. Kevin Varnell on Friday, March the 5th, 2026. This property can be serviced by town water and sewer by the town of Spring Hope. Public hearing notices were mailed out to approximately 36 property owners within a 200-foot radius on March 11th for the rezoning hearing case. The town of Spring Hope Planning Board held a meeting on this matter on March 26th. The rezoning sign was posted on the property on March 14th, and photos were taken. Please see below. Legal notice was advertised in the Nashville Graphic for March 26th and April 2nd editions of the Nashville Graphic for the public hearing for the Town Board of Commissioners. The front door of the Town Hall was posted on March 11th. The subject property is not located within a floodplain. The subject property is located within the Tar River Reservoir, Tar River Watershed, Upper Saponi Creek Watershed. The subject property is not located in North Carolina DEQ Water Supply Watershed. If you also look at the Nash County Land Development Plan, slated on their 2022 Land Development Plan for Municipal Growth for Towns, they have this lot slated for municipal growth in their plan that's on file with the county. The Town of Spring Hope future land use map, as we already stated, has this property slated for medium density residential. And if you go back to that March 26 meeting, the Town of Spring Hope held a regular board meeting on this matter for the rezoning request. Board member William Kyle Pritchard made a motion to approve the rezoning from residential multifamily to R8. The motion was seconded by board member Dave Willis. The motion passed 3-1 with the planning board asking the statement of consistency be presented to the Town Board of Commissioners at their next meeting for the public hearing. Comprehensive land use plan, as we stated, this subject property has access off First Street and Third Street, and the town plan prefers for medium residential in this area per the town future land use plan. Reasonableness and spot zoning. Why this request is not considered spot zoning and best in the public interest. It's not considered spot zoning because the subject property will be rezoned to R8 and will go along in harmony with the existing neighborhoods around that are zoned R8. Our future land use map has this property slated as medium density residential. Currently it's zoned residential MF. By rezoning it back to R8, you'll promote harmony with surrounding properties. I think the R8 zoning district is a more light intense district than your multifamily district. You just have a little bit more flexibility what you can have. If you look at the map of the subject property, you can see it's zoned MF. And this is what I took from doing my research on it. If the subject property is rezoned to R8, it will be contiguous with the adjacent zoning district of the zoning map, and it will be consistent with the Town of Spring Hope future land use map. As you slate on your future land use map, under that you see it's medium density residential. Mayor, that is everything we have. Another reason why we consider this not spot zoning is because it does have road frontage off of First Street and Third Street. That is everything we have for us. The agenda report, Mayor, I can give you my recommendations now, or I can wait till after we've gone through the public hearing and then come back and provide the town board my recommendations. But we also do have.
Quick question of clarification.
Yes, sir.
Just so we all understand. Right now, it's zoned as residential multifamily.
Correct.
Which would be apartment complexes.
Right. Going back to R8, you're now opening up the door back for single-family dwellings, which is a less intense style of zoning versus your multifamily is more very, very high dense. Multifamilies, everything can go there. Your R8, you go back in your orders. Most time when people rezone from multifamily back to R8 or back to an R10 zoning district, they're thinking more now coming back doing a single-family dwelling subdivision. We don't have nothing put before us at the present moment stating that, but 20 years experience doing this, when you're going from, you don't give up multifamily to go back to R8. Once you get multifamily, you try to hold on to that so that you can do a multifamily unit. So being that this person's already asking to go back to R8, it's letting me know they're pretty much thinking about going with a residential subdivision. That will be in harmony with everything around their subject property.
Okay.
I can give you my recommendations now, or you can ask to hear from Mr. Vardell, then go into your public hearing, sir.
Let's hear from Varnell from Stocks.
Yes, sir.
And then let's hold your recommendation till after the public hearing.
Sounds good to me, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I will yield to Mr. Varnell, and I believe Mr. Varnell is here. Mr. Varnell, as always, do you attest to everything on this agenda report was given to us as you announced from the town's agenda?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Kevin Varnell, Stocks Engineering, representing the owner, developer of the property. After the planning board meeting, I did go back to the owners, and they are willing to restrict the access to First Street and go out to Third Street. So that's just something that we kind of talked about different, so they are willing to do that. So ultimately, as we come forward with a development plan, you'll see that in more detail. But ultimately tonight, it's just the rezoning of the property to go back from multifamily down to R8. And the intent is a single-family residential subdivision. So I'll be happy to answer any other questions you have.
Okay. Yeah, I know that we talked about it for quite a long time at the planning board meeting, and we really asked you a lot of questions. And that was the biggest concern, is that the traffic on that First Street coming past the senior apartments and just the narrow widths of that was going to be such a tremendous amount of traffic. And so I appreciate you going to the developer and confirming that the Third Street on the DOT road, the exit onto the DOT road, is what they're willing to do, because I know that that would have likely prevented this board from approving it. So
Absolutely.
thank you for being forthcoming with that.
Sure.
Commissioner Tony, do you have any questions?
I don't.
Engineer? Commissioner Lucas? Commissioner Brumfield? Okay. Commissioner Tony?
Ultimately, we're not going out to First Street, so we're having to go to Third Street, so we have no traffic on
You're only
First.
gonna have one way in and one way out.
That's right. It's, like I said, roughly it's, I think it's 27 acres. So we're only looking at maybe 30, 35 lots. So ultimately, well underneath the fire code requirement of 100 lots to have more than one entrance. So just really doesn't make sense to have more than one.
Commissioner Brumfield?
No, my concern was the entrance on the First Street side, so if they're going to the Third Street, but that's not on the table today, but that was my only concern at that point, but I think it's covered at this point.
Okay. If there's no other questions for the engineer, then we can entertain a motion to go into the public hearing.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we are in public hearing. Would anyone from the public like to speak about the rezoning request? Please come on forward. And just so we know who this wonderful person is, just,
Amy Leggett, Spring Hope Garden Club, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the chairman anymore. But I live on the corner of Walnut and Second. And people turn there and go to Dollar General. We call it the Spring Hope bypass. I'm sure, you know, because there's traffic all day long, all night long. And then they go up to the Pentecostal church and they turn right. And then they go over to Lewisburg and turn left, and they're at the Dollar General. Where are these people going to exit onto from that subdivision? Are they going to exit on the street that goes by the Pentecostal church?
the DOT.
They'll be on the DOT street back on the other side.
Is that 581 Lewisburg Highway?
No, Reams Road. Reams Road is where they'll exit out to.
Oh, Reams Road.
The little bit that's in town is actually called Third Street.
But they won't take Reams Road up to, you know, towards Nashville. They'll come down my street, down Second
That's
Street.
right.
And like you said before, 25 houses, everybody's got 2 cars. That's 50 cars. 50 cars going by my house, you know, every day. I'm not crazy about it. I really am. So, there you go.
We're not allowed to comment, right?
What's that?
We're not allowed to comment, right?
No, if, commissioners, if you want to speak, you absolutely can.
I do want to point out that currently it's zoned for multi-family, meaning apartments.
Right.
That would give a lot more cars than single resident houses.
That is a good point.
Very valid point.
I was hearing her concern. I didn't replay that in my mind, but apartment complex would absolutely lead to more cars than residential, so.
I'm all for growth in Spring Hope, but not when it goes by my house. You know, word of mouth and all those loud mufflers.
But again, the alternative is apartments, which more cars.
Thank you, Ms. Peggy. Do we have other members from the public?
Hey, my name is Jonathan Jeffries. I live right there on First Street, 515 First Street. So this entrance that we're talking about is going to be right across from my front yard. I think it's great that we said we're opening up the Third Street side. Is that confirmed yet, or have we just talked about that? Because are we going to use that Third Street road?
Developer and DOT are concerned, the only access for a street would be the Third Street. I think there's 2 existing lots that the owner owns on First Street, those will stay, but the actual subdivision entrance itself will come off the Third Street.
Okay.
And DOT has confirmed.
So it would be possibly two new driveways?
There's already one existing lot there, so I'm assuming that one has a driveway, and then there'll be that little piece that actually touches First Street, but that's it.
So possibly one additional driveway or house, but then the only entrance to the subdivision would be on Third?
All right. So I think that's great, better than what I previously thought. I do have some other questions that maybe you can answer as well. One of them is, I think you mentioned how many lots already, but are there gonna be any buffers to separate the existing, the existing houses and neighborhood that, or people that are there from this new neighborhood? And then another one is, have we talked about a stormwater plan or any drainage? Because as we know from experience, it's been a problem. So I don't want that at my house. So I don't know, any plans or anything that y'all are researching?
No, didn't you mention that it ran off to the watershed on the other side of Third?
According to the Dallas County GIS, we just tell you what watershed is located in. And according to their GIS, they use that page.
But, and I would just assume that it's gonna have to be built up a little bit because of the way it runs, so.
And all of that stuff, as far as stormwater retention, will be done during the TRC review
Okay.
and all that stuff. So right now, it's the rezoning, but our engineer will get with Mr. Barnell's staff and make recommendations of stormwater runoff, stormwater retention for the city.
Okay.
So to clarify, at this point, this hearing tonight, or what we're discussing tonight, is just simply rezoning from, and I'll say it's simply apartment complex or single-family residence? Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
If it is approved and it does go through that, then they'll start submitting all the plans for
And-
TRC review, and then it'll run up the flagpole of how we do.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Well, I just asked for y'all to keep those things in mind as this process, because once it starts, it's not gonna stop. So,
Correct.
thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Very valid points, and something that we've recently done has gone through our technical review committee. And so any subdivisions that are 4 or more lots, which this board will take an official vote on, but it's already baked into our process, it'll have to go through multiple layers of technical review committee members, the planning board and the board of commissioners. One of the things that they can approve when the plat comes up is they can approve it with conditional with a buffer. One of those is going to not only be the DEQ studies for the stormwater, but also the town's contracted engineer to review those stormwater plans to make sure that the calculations are correct, to confirm, to double check the calculations for the retention ponds, to double check those flow calculations, to double check the soils and the elevations to make sure that it is properly protected. That's definitely something that we have planned for just in the last few months. So those are very valid concerns, and I'm glad that you brought those up. Anyone else from the public want to speak?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Please, yes.
On this, that we have here, I can't tell if that says 12 acres or 26 on this, on we have here.
It's 12.8.
It's 12.88, okay.
So you had mentioned 26. Did you
Right,
mean
he
26
mentioned 26
lots?
a while ago.
12 acres.
12 acres, 26
Okay,
lots.
I got you. Yeah,
Okay.
20.5, okay.
Let's see if no one else from the public wants to speak, if we can get a motion from the commissioners to end the public hearing and go back into regular session.
I make a motion, we end public hearing and go back into regular session.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. As we stated earlier, anytime somebody has to go from RMF to R8, that's an easy one right there because they're going from one of the highest densities in your zone ordinance to be able to do apartments to now go to single-family dwellings. Town staff will recommend following the 2020 comprehensive plan designated for the town of Spring Hope that the board approves this rezoning and adopt a statement of consistency written by the planning board, find that this rezone is applicable to the town's plan and rezone the property from RMF to residential aid. So town staff would ask that the board make a motion, which is in your package, suggested motion number 1 for the approval. And if you have any questions, I can stand on standby to be able to fill in for a question from the commissioner, sir.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for Sean Lucas on the rezoning? If not, if we can entertain a motion to approve the rezoning.
make a motion that we approve the rezoning to R8.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, only thing we'll get you to do is sign orders 2026-02 in the morning. You and the clerk adopting into the town records, and we'll let Mr. Varnell send the paperwork out to Mr. Varnell saying it was approved.
Okay. Thank you for your hard work on that. All right, moving on to the depot colors.
Oh, boy.
So this project has been held up for a little bit for us to, among a couple of things, but primarily to decide on a paint color, which we're going to do that tonight. As soon as we make that decision, they can proceed with painting and then getting the electrical boxes mounted to the exterior of the building. So commissioners, you have some colors before you. And does everybody have the color samples?
Y'all need to share. You need to share those.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, got 'em.
we've all seen them in here.
And where's that
So-
color board?
It's right here.
Yeah, let me see. I'll stand out here so that y'all can look at it. But we basically have the historical colors of the deep maroon and the green, which are gonna be the different trim colors
And
of the
that,
building.
those two colors are basically, we don't get much choice on those parts, right?
That's right. So
Okay.
these are gonna be a shade, this shade of maroon and green, which will be the trims like the window sashes, the window casings, the doors, the door casings, possible the underpinning around the foundation itself. And then what we've got to decide is the main color of the body of the building. And so have this, I'll kind of walk it around, it gives a good representation. But we started off with the original recommendation from the architect, or from the contractor and architect, was this white. Historically, that would not have been what was on the building. With the coal trains, the soot would have stained this, so that's not what would have been there. It'll also be very difficult for us to keep it clean. So they provided some alternative colors that you guys have the color code cards there. And we have some darker shades, which would be
This is gonna be
really
high
easy
maintenance.
to keep clean and would
I
give a
don't like
good
the
contrast.
yellows.
So I kind
So
of,
I'm between those two, but I'm thinking Buckram Binding.
So you can kind of see where.
I like that. I can't get
Can't get with that, neither one of them gold colors.
I can't.
I like that. And I like that.
Buckram Binding. It's called Buckram Binding. I mean, I think this is gonna be too close to white. That causes maintenance. This one? Yeah. I think this has more. See what I mean? Oh, that's that maple color. That's bird's eye maple. Why is that different there? Uh-huh. I'm still right there. I'm still right there. I'm there.
Buckram binding.
Yes.
I'm good with that.
yes, okay. So I think,
Definitely not that butterscotch. No, definitely not butterscotch.
What do you think about this one? I like that one too. That's a good idea. Uh-oh.
anybody in for the yellow, we take the yellow off? Take the gold off? Okay.
Okay. Now, what do you think? What's left?
The one to the right.
That buckram binding.
That's whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, show me.
Done.
Okay. Okay, this
Got
is
it.
like Groundhog Day, Daniel Silent. Okay, so the colors, the trim colors, historical colors that would have been appropriate for that time period and by the train company, the rail company that would have built it. So we have the maroon and the green, which will be the different trim colors, whether it's the window sashes or the door trims, the window trims,
So when this
the doors
man's in the trash
themselves,
can.
potential underpinning of the building. And then the main color of the body, which was the one we had to decide on tonight, is called Buckram Binding by Sherwin-Williams, and it is a historical color as well. So that will look very beautiful.
What color is that? Like a cream?
It's a beigeish color.
Is it the colors that they've got on it right now?
No.
The front side is like a
No.
cream color.
No, that's not it.
Those
No.
are actually all primers. It's none of the colors.
Yeah. That looks ugly. It's up there right now.
That green looks pretty good out there, that greenish gray color, but that's not a choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Big decision. We're excited about that train depot. That's going to be a huge economic driver for downtown.
And the Pumpkin Festival.
Okay, let's entertain a motion to approve Buckram Binding as the main building color for the train depot.
So moved.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioners, for your deliberation. Next item on the agenda, a very exciting one. Commissioner Tony brought up the recommendation, as well as every commissioner on this board at some point has requested that we go after grant dollars. So I had overheard that the North Carolina League of Municipalities offered a service like that, our town clerk as well. And so we approached them. We had, Michelle and I had a very good meeting with a grant writer that works for North Carolina League of Municipalities. And so we are looking at getting a grant from the North Carolina League of Municipalities to contract and hire a grant writer to write grants for the town. So the grant writer would be paid for by the League of Municipalities, and the item on the agenda is the MOA for the NCLM, North Carolina League grant resolution, which would give authorization to the league to fund that grant to actually hire that grant writer. Michelle, can you give us any information on that? We're making it easy for you tonight.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I talked to the league the other day, and she confirmed that they're gonna pick up all the costs, and all we have to do is sign the paperwork. I sent it to Nick. He said it looked great, so we're in good shape as long as y'all vote for it.
All right. Any questions or comments, discussions from the commissioners? I see a hand clap there.
I think we could probably all clap for this one, yes. No questions.
Okay. All right. If we can entertain a motion to approve the MOA for the NCLM grant resolution.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the reports. We'll start with the Spring Hope Chamber of Commerce, if anyone is here from the chamber. Okay.
Did you get a permit request for Chalk It Up that was submitted when, April? 2 weeks ago?
Thursday, so 2 weeks, whatever 2 weeks ago was on Wednesday or Thursday.
Is that for Chalk It Up?
Yes.
So that's a chamber-sponsored event for Chalk It Up. Is that permit in the,
It's in the process, yeah.
when is that event?
It's May 2nd.
May
This is the
2nd?
last meeting before, and it needs to be
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah. Either we have to blindly approve it tonight or approve it at our budget meeting. We could add it to the agenda.
This is you're referring to an event permit where they're putting chalk on the sidewalks?
Yeah.
Then we did it last year.
Mhm.
We need to see if it's gonna be the same, if anything changed on it. Anything changed on it?
Do what,
I don't
Jess?
think anything changed on it.
No,
It's gonna be the same?
the same.
Do you know where in town they're gonna,
The Chalk It Up, the outdoor sidewalk contest is going to be, are you asking me like where? They're gonna actually
Mhm.
on the sidewalks. Gosh, I'm bad with street names. Pine, Main, you remember the names.
Railroad, I went down Railroad too.
Okay, it's dependent on how many people, applicants we get, people that sign up to participate. And, but last year we used North Pine, South Pine, we used Main Street, but we used in front of the town hall. We allowed, with town hall's blessings, we allowed for children under third grade would have the patio area out here in front of the town hall to just use sidewalk chalk. We had a low turnout for it last year. I'm hoping that builds this year. And so it doesn't involve food trucks. We're depending on our restaurants because that's our purpose, is to bring business into town. And so Depot Delights and the coffee shop will be open, and Showside Grill.
And awards at the Artist Arts Council.
Can I say what the award is?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, because I want everyone to be at least one person to register and come out. Please, somebody can draw something. But we want to award, there's 4 categories, 3rd to 5th grade for the young ones, 6th to 8th, middle school, 9th to 12th, and adults. Grand prize for each category is $100. So you can take me out to lunch, take a picture, and share. But that's the prize, thanks to the chamber, and we're really hoping that we get more people to come.
And will,
No, we're providing the chalk. No, go ahead, but chamber is providing the chalk. All the supplies they need. The only thing I really say, no, okay, but the chalk is provided.
Well, we're providing the chalk and we provide wipes. But if they want to use brushes or anything for any kind of shadowing, they need to bring their own.
any roads that need blocking off?
No, and I think last year we had, oh gosh, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 officers. Just, just in case.
Like whoever's on duty is what it was.
Is that what we did? Yeah, okay.
So any on-duty officers would kind of be there during that time, which is?
9
so
to
that-
1.
9 to 1 on May the 2nd. Okay. And then likewise, I've got a question, Michelle.
Yes.
And commissioners, if you're okay with this, because our lovely town of Spring Hope is trying to have more events, and we don't have many. The turnout was a little low, and sometimes it's hard to reach people. It might be in kind of a silo on this page or that page, and not necessarily very well communicated as it could be. So are any of the commissioners opposed, since this is an event in town, doing a phone tree to let our residents know about this event, to join in on the event? Is anyone opposed to doing a phone tree to let them know about this as well?
I think the town should support the chamber too. I mean, they support the town, so.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
okay,
That's right, yeah, no, we support the chamber, we love the chamber. We love you.
okay. All right, so we'll get a phone tree out about that event. April, if you could just put together, again, 1 to 2 sentences. Michelle said people hang up when the second sentence starts. So if you could put together a strong 1 to 2 sentence. And when y'all hear the phone tree about the chalk it up, just listen to all 2 sentences.
The attorney mentioned you should probably put the $100 part in the first sentence.
Yeah. First sentence, $100.
Okay. Do we need to put any conditions on this approval, commissioners, or are you okay approving it, giving administrative staff the ability to finalize the permit? If so, then we can just get a motion to approve the permit with administrative approval.
Make a motion, we approve the permit with administrative approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to police reports. Lieutenant Leary.
Local hero.
Do all of you know Lieutenant Leary? Our Carnegie Hero Award recipient. one of the most prestigious honors in North America, and only a very small amount of people get that. But we're going to have a very special ceremony for that when that award gets ready. So we won't take away from that very special scheduled event that'll be coming up in the near future. But I just had to mention it.
Yes,
Since
sir.
you're here, I had to mention it.
I appreciate that. Mr. Mayor and ladies and gentlemen, for the month of March 2026, the police department responded to 471 calls for service. We had a total of 156 vehicle stops, performed a total of 226 security checks, responded to 8 vehicle accidents, 4 domestic disturbances, as well as 4 civil unrest calls. We had a total number of investigations in March of 12, and we've cleared 11 of them so far.
Cleared 11 out of 12. That's impressive. I don't honestly know of any other agency that has that kind of a turnaround. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Sir,
phenomenal.
just hard work on behalf of all of you.
Yep. You do a lot of that investigating?
Most of it, major cases, I do all of it, but the misdemeanors, the guys handle it themselves.
Impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Sure
Thank you.
appreciate
Any questions for Lieutenant? All right. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Moving on to code enforcement reports.
Good evening again. Good evening once again, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. As you know, we are now in April, so we're getting ready to kind of ramp up code enforcement. We sent out probably 13 letters in the first week. March, we try to let people get by because the grass cutting season really doesn't officially start to meet till April. So we just got started over there on writing people up, sending out letters. We also issued 4 zoning permits over the past month. We got additional one come in this morning that I'll be working on probably tonight, a fence permit for an individual. And pretty much that's everything we got, but we're getting ready to ramp up, so we're asking everybody. We're going after vacant properties first. Anything that's vacant, and we're gonna try to do like we did over the past weekend. If we know the person, text them, call them, send them an email saying, hey, can you get the property clean or cut before we send a letter. We think sometimes that approach works a little faster response versus having to wait in the mail for them to get a letter. And 3 that we send that to, we already seen them already gain compliance on it.
And are we sending, are we doing any kind of certified letters for code enforcement now?
We are not unless it's a zoning violation, just to try to save and conserve money on the budget for as mailing. Certified letters, if you're sending 13 out and they're going $10 a letter down, it could add up. So right now, the state order says you can send out first-class mail to say it's been duly notified, but if anybody who's issued a zoning violation, which is a little bit more heavier than a grass cutting letter, they're getting the certified letter and also the first-class letter.
Very good. Thank you for the zoning certified letters. Thank you.
Anytime, sir. Any other questions from the board?
What's the code for cutting grass every 2 weeks in the zoning ordinance?
We don't have nothing. We just say if grass gets over 10 feet high, we write you 10 inches. Got 10 if it's 10 feet high.
That's no longer grass.
10 inches, if grass gets over 10 inches high, then we send a letter out, but we're going after vacant properties first.
Yeah.
Hey, did you say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anything that's vacant commercial buildings, vacant residentials, we're going after those people first, because we know that's not gonna be compliant unless you send a letter. Any property that has somebody living in or a tenant, we're trying to make contact with them to try to get them on the phone, send an email.
Did you say that the state general statutes provide for a first-class letter instead?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's why I think when they adopted it, it was to help out small towns, because we can operate on a building budget, had to send everything certified.
Understood.
We would go bankruptcy quick.
The building on Ash Street, South Ash Street, was he informed about that? The glass was broken out of it yesterday when I come through there.
Yes, sir, and Mr.
Is he
White-
getting fined for that? Cause
No.
we had to pay the town to clean up that glass.
If the town went out and abated it, then we have to go back and look at how much it was charged. But what we did not formally inform him, we just told to get it fixed. So we're working on getting that done. But if you feel like there needs to be a charge for having town staff on town time to go out, we abate if the vendor goes out, because we have to recollect the fees that the vendor charged us to do it. If town staff goes and clean it, we don't really have a leg to
They're on the
to
clock
abate.
anyway.
They're on the clock. We can't justify paying town staff for doing the job. It's like the mailman. You put the mail in your mailbox. We can't pay them for doing it. They just doing the
One more
job.
question. Commissioner Brantley said something about that window. When did you say something about that glass? About 3 months ago?
Oh, no, longer than that.
Yeah, so why hasn't he been fined for it? It would have never broke out if he would have fixed it.
I didn't tell him. Now, remember?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Before we move to town manager reports, attorney reports, and then also, do we need to take any type of a resolution or contract official vote for the town manager's contract?
Yes, good evening, everybody. So we do have one resolution. It's formalizing the town manager's contract with the town of Spring Hope. Our town manager jumped on board so quickly that we had to then work quickly to get the contract together. So that's kind of why we're doing it now. And so I sent this out to the board via email right after Michelle sent out her agenda packet for y'all. Did everyone get a chance to review that / do they have a physical copy? Okay. So just for everyone in the audience to know what's happening here, there's an attached contract to this resolution. The town board is voting on whether or not to adopt that contract that they've kind of been in the process of negotiating anyway. So that's what's happening now.
Okay, and Mr. Manager, we appreciate you stepping in and helping us out very early on. Thankfully, this board made a decision to move from the interim manager process directly to recruiting a full-time manager. We're grateful for you coming on board when you did, and we look forward to getting this final piece of the process completed and making it duly official. So if there are no questions from the commissioners, then we can get a motion to approve the contract and resolution as written.
I'll make the motion, we will approve the contract as it's written.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Manager. And officially, welcome. Okay, attorney reports?
Nothing further to report.
Okay, and now, Mr. Manager, reports. Anything you'd like to add?
Just, you do have, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Commissioners, just wanted to let you know, you do have a printed copy of the manager's report in your packet. I did want to touch on a couple of items that I felt were really important and the public also would like to know. The good news about the water project, we have talked about that, the water main project, that is 70% complete now. So that's good news, and there will be a process, thank you, absolutely. There will be a process, like the mayor mentioned earlier tonight, for them to repave the areas that are, but it does take time because they have to let it settle. So just be patient with us on that, and that will be taken care of. The other item really that I wanted to touch on was actually a situation that actually Lieutenant Leary was a part of. We got dispatched out to a incident on 64 where there was a lady with a medical emergency. So he had to they did a safe pit maneuver. Fortunately, no one was hurt. No vehicles were really damaged. So come to find out, she had early onset dementia, and also had a urinary tract infection, which caused this to happen. Because of what he did as well, she went home safe. Ironically, I think it was the son is a ER doctor. Which was ironic. She did get treated, and she did go into and stay a couple of days in the hospital just because of the infection. So, but the family did come up and was very appreciative of Lieutenant Leary and our police department in taking care of that situation. But I'll stand by for any questions that you might have, but just wanted to point those two items out because I thought those were pretty important.
Thank you. I know we're all excited that water main project is moving along, and we're grateful that got going back in February, and so that's a tremendous amount of work has happened in the last couple of months, And not in just that, but also the wastewater treatment plant is going through a process to get overhauls. And in addition to that, also we have, and that's through grant money, and then also grant money for wells to go back through our wells and make improvements, whether it be filtration or bringing another well online to offer additional water supplies. So additional grant funds for other projects that are finally moving along as well. So thank you all so much for your patience on that. Thank you for your updates, Mr. Manager, and your reports there. Any questions from the commissioners on those manager reports? All right, we'll go through for closing comments. Commissioner Tony?
Just glad to have new town manager on board with us. Look forward to working with you.
Commissioner Lucas?
Same here. Thank you for accepting the job.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. If you don't mind a little black dog tagging along. Welcome.
Thank you.
Commissioner Tony?
Welcome you to Spring Up. We looking for great things out of you. We had to fight.
We'll hold you to it.
We want you to put your boots on the ground.
Yes, sir.
I hate to be the only one that says something different, and I know we're all ready to go home. But Michelle, the town clerk, mentioned something to me. We talked about earlier in our budget conversations, not today, but in the past, about the PEG funds and what they're available to use for. Since we have a full DDB and we can use this for a town video, is it something that we need to agree to send that down to the DDB since their next meeting will be full?
So
for them
just
to
to-
entertain looking at creating a video for the town?
Yes, just to highlight what he's talking about, the PEG funds, which is something that we use to purchase the technology in here. Something that they could be used for is to create a promotional or advertising marketing video of the town of Spring Hope. This is funds that we have that have to be used for something like that. These are grant funds, so it's not coming out of our general fund or our operational budget.
It's money that we already have in place.
Yes.
And we need to spend it on something. It came from out, the townspeople didn't pay this money, correct?
Correct.
That comes from the state.
Correct.
So it's there to use, and I just figured I think this board has to send it down to the DDB to investigate and come up with ideas. Is that correct?
Yep.
I was just kind of hoping we could do that so we didn't delay them another month.
If y'all-
We just have to hire a professional videographer.
My objection, my point there was to pass it down to them, for them to investigate hiring and all that stuff. I
Yeah, I think
thought that
that's,
was a great idea, because that's what the DDB is supposed to be doing.
Good idea.
And so they could come up and of course, whatever they recommend, it would be a recommendation to
Yes.
the Board of Commissioners, but potentially different scenes to shoot, different shots to get, different locations, different pictures to make a part of that promotional video, and then submit those ideas to you all before anyone is hired. Obviously, you all would be the ones that would approve the contract and the scope of the project. But that way it takes a little bit of the work off of your shoulders to let the Downtown Development Board, which is focused on economic development, to put together a proposed scope and contract bids to you all to look at. Are you okay with that?
The money's there to spend on that. And,
Okay.
and I think the group that we have there officially as of today is a strong group to take on what they would recommend for us.
Okay, so there's nothing to vote on. We're not spending any money, but if we could just task Mr. Manager for delegating or passing that down to the Downtown Development Board.
Yes, sir, we'll do it.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, and the last comment.
Please.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. We do have, okay, all right.
It's cold in here.
Okay, so we do have a closed session. That concludes everything for the regular session, so there won't be anything after our closed session. So we thank you all for attending and being here with us. If you wanted to speak with Mr. Jonathan Allen, we are going to be in closed session though for a little while, so don't really know how long that'll be, but we encourage all of you, if you wanted to meet him, he has an open door policy, come by town, and we are going to schedule a meet and greet at a later date with him. So, all right, if we can get a motion to go into closed session.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
Do we have a second?
Second.
For attorney-client communications.
For attorney-client communications? Okay.
All right, and we have a second.
Second.
And then before we go all in favor, I just wanted to let, you had something quick to say.
I wanted to know if that contact that I gave you was helpful. You reach out to people in this area.
Oh, about the depot?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much. That really got the ball rolling. So,
I'm glad that it was
Ro reached out to her contacts, and a couple of people reached out to various contacts about those paint colors, and that really helped us along. Thank you. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Peggy. We have a first and second, and,
You paused before the all in favor.
yes, we paused before the all in favor. Let's give,
Everybody a chance to get out. And then vote on it.
but let's go ahead and take a,
Vote.
you want to let,
Hey. Ellie Browder, E-L-L-I-E, B,
ELLE.
E-L-L-E, B-R-O-W-D-E-R.
Okay, yeah, do that, okay.
Yes, and I'm not sure that's spelled correctly. Does anybody have that?
I got it down there. You know.
It's just C-O-E-N.
it's the principal of Spring Hill Elementary. Thank you. So you can,
Oh, that's who that is. I'm gonna look right now.
Oh.
Hold on. They're still talking about it. Hang on. I got it right.
COHEN.